Hi guys, welcome to this session. Today we are going to discuss most common and important pandas commands on the data frame. So here I have created this dummy data frame. You can type this code and just print out the dataset. And here we are going to see some common data frames here. Common commands which we basically use while working on any project. So there are some commands you are aware of already, which I'm not going to discuss much, like for example, data.info to check the non-null counts in our dataset, and data.head. We are aware of these commands, and then data.tail. So these are just first beginning commands you are already aware of, like how to check the columns, how to check the non-null counts, how to check statistical value, how to check head and tail. These are commands you already know. So I'm going to discuss main commands, like for example, very important commands like .lock and ilock commands, how to extract a particular part of the data frame, a row or a column. So this is where many of us get confused, like how these commands works. So .lock command is label based data selection method where we pass the label of row or the column to extract the data. So for example, let's say I want to extract this Hyundai. So I will pass 1, which is the label of the row. So if I just pass lock and I say 1, it will give me Hyundai data, Hyundai row. I can also write this command as this comma and this colon. Both have the same meaning. It means I want details over all the columns, because before comma I pass row label and then after comma I pass column label. Let's say if I want to extract this city column, if I want to extract this city column, and let's check how it works. .lock. Here you can see that I have got the whole column city. So this is how lock works. You can pass row label or column label. For example, let's say you don't want to know kilometers driven city mileage. You just want to know brand and year. So what you can do is you can simply say you want from beginning to up to 2. Means you want only 0 and 1. 2 is not included. And you will get only brand and year. Okay. Okay. I cannot write like this. I need to pass proper label, So I want brand and year. So you got the brand and year only. Since I said you need to pass label, so this is the label on the column. You cannot pass just 0, 1, 2 number. So this is how .lock methods, where you need to pass label. Now, for example, if I want to use ilock method to do the same thing, if you want same this Hyundai data, but you want to use ilock, what will you do? What will you do? And if you see Hyundai, this is on the first line this. So let's check now how to do the same with ilock. So let's say I want to use ilock now, and I want first, actually second row, but its index is first. So again, let's see if it works or not. So you can see that it is working because one is also the label for lock, but one is also the index. And here I need to pass index in iLock. It is an index based selection method, which means that we have to pass integer index in the method to select specific row or column. So now it may look confusing for you, but let me tell you something interesting to show the actual difference between lock iLock. Here you see I pass this brand comma year to extract brand and year for Hyundai. Now if I want to do the same for iLock, how will I do? So to extract same detail of brand and year using iLock, what I can do is I can simply just say data.iLock and same I need to pass one and then colon, and last time using log I passed the label. Column wise, but here I just need to say start from 0 and then up to 2, and it will give me the same detail what I had earlier using dot log, and I pass like this. So this is the difference. Here you pass label, but with iLock you passed indexing. So this is the difference between lock iLock. And similarly in the previous with log I passed, like if I want to extract city, I said data.log. This means like 0 to and up to the end, all row row wise, like 0 to 8, and I said I want this colon city. And with if I want to do the same for iLock, what I will do is, what is the index number of city? First check. This is brand is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is the index number. So let's check data.log. Sorry, iLock. Data.iLock. I want all rows and I want 3 city. So you can see I have got it same output using log iLock. This is how it works. Do give it a practice by practicing it on some any data set. You will see. Now let's go to our next point. Let's just get the whole data set again to get an idea. And now I would like to show you how to create a new column. Let's say I have this brand, year, kilometers driven, city, mileage. Let's say I want to add price. So I would like to do it through NumPy, import NumPy as NP. Now let's say I want some new column. How to do a new column? So this is price, and I will say NP dot arrange. Let's say price starts from 500,000 and it goes up to 1,500,000, and there's a gap of 100,000. So this will be my price, and it is going for 999. So I should say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, let's say to 14. So this is my price column, and let's check our data set. So this is, I have added a column price, and price is just random. So you can see this is how we can create a new column in the data frame. We can also drop any column we want. Let's say I would like to drop year column. I can just simply call, let's say I say data drop. You can pass as many columns as you would like to drop here, and then say axis 1 since you are dropping the column. Let's say I say year, and I can simply check data again. Okay, it already gave me the output. You can see the column has been dropped. So one important thing is, when I dropped this, it gave me the output with the column dropped. But if I check the real data, year column is still intact because I haven't assigned this to the data variable I had before. And if you would like to do in place, like if you would like to do it without assigning to the data variable, you can simply pass in place parameter. If you pass this true, you don't need to assign it to a new variable and it will work like this. For example, if I run this again and then I run this again, year column has been dropped already because I passed this in place parameter. So this is how you can assign a new column, you can drop a new column. Now let's go to our next step. What if I would like to rename my columns? I have these columns I would like to rename. I have 5 columns. And let's say I want all columns in capital letters. So I can simply say data.columns and pass your new names in this list. So I have brand and I have, let's check, I have kilometers driven. Let's say I just copy this and I pass this here. And here I just need to do everything in capital. I have the city. Okay, so this is done. So you can see I have converted all column names to capital and just run this. And you can see that your data has new column names with capital letters. So this is how you can rename your columns. We have seen how to drop columns. And let's go to our next point, which is grouping by the data. Grouping the data. I'm just copying this data frame again just to use it because I don't want to have my data frame with a column dropped. So just copy and pasting again here. And let's say I would like to, let's see what happens if I just simply call data.groupby and I just say brand. What it will give me? You will see that it gives you this pandas.co.groupby.generate data from groupby object. So what you need to do is you need to say, let's say you want to group your data frame by brand and you want their first element. So it grouped your data by each brand and then this output gives you the first element of each group. Hyundai, Mahindra, Maruti, Renault, Tata. Now, let's say you want to group by brand, but you want to get the sum of their mileages. So what I can do is here, I can just say first sum, but before summing, I want their mileage. So you will see that I have all the brands and I have some of their mileages. If you check Hyundai here, Hyundai has, okay, it is not showing it right now here, but let's say you have Hyundai at 2 places and their mileage is 27 and 29 and 27 and 29 is 56 here. You can see it gave me the sum of their mileages group by brand. Now let's say I would like to group by not only brand but with year also. So what I can do is, let me just copy this and instead of just brand I want more than brand, which is let's say mileage, and I would like to get the sum of their, not sum actually, let's say this time I want mean. So first it will group by brand and mileage. Actually, I should do it by year. Wait, brand and year. So my data is grouped by brand and year, and the mean of their mileages. Since I don't have much data, so it gives me the exact what I had in my Hyundai, Mahindra, Maruti. But normally, if you ever need to get the mean based on grouped by some specific columns, you can apply this method. Now, there's another command here. For example, let's say I save this group by data dot group by brand. I save this in a brand variable, and if I want to get the group of a particular brand, let's say I want only Hyundai. So what I can do is I can say brand dot get group, and I will pass Hyundai, and it will give me the group Hyundai rows. So this is a nice command. You can use it based on your scenario. If you need to extract something like this, first group by and then extract this by using get group method. Now let's discuss one more important thing in pandas, which is let me just first get my data again. Here you can see that I have kilometers driven, and let me just add price factor again, which I used earlier. I use this price factor. Yes, this will be helpful for this step. So again, I am adding this price, and if I check my data, I have this price column. Now, what if I would like to convert it into instead of 500,000, I will just say 500k, or this is 5 lakh. If I divide it by 1 lakh to each row on this price column, so it will be like 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 7 lakh, price in lakhs. So I need to apply some method on it. What I can do is I can simply use lambda function on this. I said data, I will say price. I would like to apply on this data price, because this is the column I want to apply a method on. So I will say data price equal to data price dot apply, and I will pass this function lambda x. X is, what is x here? I will take each value from this column, 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 7 lakhs. This is my x, and I would like to divide it by 100,000. 100,000, and my whole value will be in just numbers because it will be divided by 1 lakh. So this is how I can simply apply a method. And if I check my data, it will be having these values 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can simply now edit this price column by saying data dot rename and pass columns equal to price, and then I want this in price in lakh, and I will say in place equal to true. And if I run this and check my data frame again, we can see that I have got column named as price in lakh, and this is how it works. So this is how we can apply dot apply method. I can use this lambda function. I can also simply do the same thing. By defining a user defined function and then pass the name of the user defined function here. But lambda is accurate and more better and concise for this particular scenario, so I use this lambda. But if your function is having multiple steps, then lambda may not be a good choice for you here. So now I have this data frame I have created. So now we are going to see some other commands. For example, I would like to sort my data frame based on index. So just to give you an example of sorting the index of a data frame, I have passed this random index. You can see that because normally when you create such data frame, pandas gives you by default sorted index 0 1 2 3 4 5. So there's no point of sorting that data frame by index. So here, that's why I have passed this index parameter, so that run this when I run this, I have this unsorted index, so that I can sort them. So how can I sort the data frame? By calling the dot sort underscore index method. So let's just do this, data dot sort index, and if I do this, you can see that my index has been sorted now. So I had Maruti first row. Now I have Hyundai first, because this is, yeah. Now you can see that it is sorting in ascending order like this. Now if I simply pass, let's say I just copy this and I paste this here and I pass ascending equal to false, because by default it is true. Then what will happen is I will get this in descending order. So this is how I can sort the data frame by index in ascending and descending order. But for that, your index should be in a random format like this. Otherwise, there's no point of sorting like this. Yeah. So now let's go to our next point. Uh, I would like to sort by values. I would like to sort by values. So what is sort by values? Let's just check df dot sort value. So if I check this documentation here, it says that sort by the values along either axis. Along either axis. So for example, here I can see that I have this mileage. I have this mileage and it's unsorted. 21, 28, 26, 24. You can see that. So what if I would like to sort this data frame on mileage by values? So I can simply say data dot sort values and I pass by equal to mileage. So you can see that now if you check this, it's in ascending order like this. So I can sort my data frame on axis 1 like this. I can sort based on mileage, not on index. That's how data dot sort underscore values work. So let's go to another command, which is concatenating. Let's say I have these two series and I would like to concat them. For example, like if I print series 1, if I print this, let's just check them properly, and let me print series 2 also. So if I print series 1 and series 2, you can see that this is my series 1 and series 2. I think I should get this on new line. So this is my series 1, series 2. Now if I would like to concat them, I obviously need to first import pandas as pd, and I would like to concat them series 1, series 2. Simply I'm just calling concat method on this. Okay, I need to pass them in a list. This. Yes. So you can see that it concatenated both series row wise. Row wise. Why is that? Let's just check the documentation pd.concat. So if you check the documentation of pd.concat, it has this by default parameter access 0. Access 0, that's why. And now if I just change this parameter, for example, let me just copy this and paste this here, and I say access 1. Now let's check the output. You can see that it concatenated on access 1. Now here I had 1 to 3 ABC. Now it's 1 to 3 and ABC in parallel. Earlier it was in series form, row wise. Now it's column wise. And you can see even index 012 012. Now it's 012. You can see that. So now one more thing I would like to discuss. Okay, one more thing. Okay, let's just check that later. I hope you got this pd.concat. This is very important command. Like many times you need to concat your data frame, and it's very handy. And besides that, there's another parameter here, ignore index. Ignore index. Why ignore index? Now let me show you. Here we saw this concatenating series, and you saw this 012 012. It doesn't look nice. You want 012 345 like that. So what you can do here is you can simply pass ignore index equal to false. Oh, sorry, true, because earlier it was by default false. So now you can see that you have got it in a nice format 012 345. So this is how it works. Let's go to our next command, and I have this data frame df1 df2, and yeah, actually I'm going to show you concatenation on this also, because earlier we did on series. So this is, I have this in this format, and let me just print df1, and let me just print it in nice way, print df2. So I have these data frame df1 df2. Now simply concatenating is very easy. Instead of just series, now this time you will just pass this df1 and df2. Yeah, it's very simple, just like we did before. It acts exactly like that. So you can see that I have done this. I have done the same thing with this better data frame like this. I can do the same thing here with this data frame. So I'm just skipping this right now. Just you just copy this and try to do it by yourself. Just pause the video at this point and do this to experiment. Now let's do next important method, which is merging. And I would like to merge these two data frame. First, let's just print this. If you are watching this, I really request you to type this code and get a hands-on experience. So I'm printing both data frame. Now let me just give a gap here. Yes. So I have these two data frames, and here we can see that I have this common column key, and on this column I can merge this data frame. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to merge pd dot merge, and I have this df1 df2 and on key. Yeah. So let's just check which this error is. Let's just check documentation one, pd dot merge, because sometimes when you get error like this, it's better to check the documentation so that you can get idea of what mistake you have done. So here, let's just check an example here, because in documentation you have been given a great examples. So you can see that I can see how it works. They have these parameters on A. Okay, left, right. Hmm. Okay, I can do it in other way also. Okay, what I can do is, instead of calling pd dot merge, I can simply say df1 dot merge df2 and on key. Uh, it's it shouldn't throw error like this. Hmm. Okay. I have been doing wrong from the beginning. pd dot merge, instead of df1 and df2, I should have passed data1 comma data2, and now it will work fine. So you can see that that's how you can merge two data frames like this. There are some other parameters here. There are some other parameters here, and you could do the same thing using merging like this. You could, instead of saying pd dot merge, you could say data1 dot merge data2 and on equal to key. So you could do the same thing like this also, and it gives the same output. So there are two ways of merging. You can choose either one you like, and you can check more parameters here. For example, how you would like to join inner, left, right, and you can see other parameters based on your requirement. You don't need to read all of that now, just do it when it's necessary. So after merging, I would like to show you about map method, which you can apply it on a, like on a column in your data frame. It works on a series, and data frame is made up of series. So for example, I have this data frame, and let's say I would like to convert this qualification, which is a categorical column, and it has some order because degree BTech is the highest degree. It is more valuable, so you can see that BTech is higher than BA, BCom, and B honors. So let's say if you would like to convert this qualification into some numerical way, so you can use this dot map method, and you can simply call df qualification, and just simply again qualification. Let me just show this first. Let me just cut, and let's I say dot map, and you can pass a dictionary and use all the unique values here. Give it any numerical number. Like let's say I would like to say btech is, I have four, so let's say btech is 3, and I will say b uh, b bcom. Let's say I give it second, and b honors I give it 2, and lowest I give to ba. Yeah, I can I want it to have this 3, like it is the highest, and then becomes second, and b honors 2, and ba 1. And if I run this, you will see that my categorical column qualification has got these values. Now to apply it on actual data frame, I can simply uh, I can simply equivalent I can simply uh, equate to this df qualification because I want to apply it on this column. Now once I do this and I check my data frame again, my column has been changed. So dot map method on a series of a data frame, it is really very helpful. So let's last method, one of the important method is pivot table in Pandas, which is for example, let's say you have this data frame A, B, C, D, E, and I have taken this example from documentation. You can check it there, but I would like to discuss it on the level by printing it some more by changing parameters, which is not on the documentation. This is how you can experiment actually. Let me just show you once pd dot pivot. Okay. So this is the data frame. You apply it on data frame. You pass index columns and values parameter. Now, if you check this data frame here and you check this df dot pivot, it is saying index foo. So it is pivoting based on index which is foo. It is pivoting on the foo, and it is choosing columns from the bar. So you can see ABC, ABC. It has 3 unique values, and all these 3 unique values have been made as a column here. So this is how it works, and values it is taking based on BAZ bars column. So just check these documentation once how pivot acts, how it works. So here I'm showing you by pivoting data frame df, and I'm taking values from the D column, and I'm taking index as a comma b, which is AB, pivoting based on AB, and I'm taking columns as C. I have which values in C are unique: small, large, small, large, only small, large. So you can see that I have 2 columns, small, large, and then I'm applying on it aggregate function, which is I'm applying here aggregate function, which is sum, using numpy. So if you check, let me show you. If you check large in bar and in 1, if you check these large values and if you sum their values, it will come exactly like this. It will come exactly like this. So just try to understand this here, how aggregation function is working by pivoting index A and B and choosing column C, its unique values large and small. You will see how it's working. Now, for example, from here, if I remove this column C, then what it will do is it will just give me this D value. It will just give me D value. Why? Because I have chosen index AB, which is I have it here, and then I have chosen values D. That's it. So I will get only value D. Previously, I was getting 2 columns, large and small, because I passed this column parameter C here. So just change parameters here and try to understand how it's working. For example, here I have this column D, and it is saying 1, 9. 1, 9. And if you check the values of 1 here, 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. So you can see that even in 1 and 2, it's large and small. So you need to check how it's summing up the values. For example, if I just check for large, it's 4 and 4, 8. And for small, it's 5 plus 2, 7, 5 plus 6. So just observe the values here. And that's also for 1 and 2. For 1, it's 5 plus 4, 9. And plus 5, 14. So just check values here, how it's working. For example, here 1 is 9 and 5, 14. In total it's 14, but it's for bar and foo. So if you check for foo here, and it's 2, 2, 4 and 5. So just check these values, how it's working here. you will understand how it's aggregating, how beautifully pivot table, just in just one line of code, it gives you all the values, which if you do it manually, it will take you a lot of time. Same here, I have taken values D and E, and that's why I have two columns here. And for index A and B, and aggregation function, again it's np.sum. So try to change these parameters and try to understand how it's working. It will be very handy, and even in Excel you have this pivot function there, and in Python we have it in Pandas. So guys, if you have any if you would like to just speak on this tutorial, if you would like to give your feedback, you can put that in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up, share it with others, and give us your suggestions for upcoming videos. Thank you guys.